Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moments. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star 2 episode number 203 based on novel. So let's start. Blood Crane territory, located very far from the cultivator territory. It took over 100 days from the border to reach the mysterious land known as the Blood Crane territory. Finally here. Following the sensing of the Shadow Lord, and with the reference from the Starlight recorded space-time route map, Luofong arrived here quite easily. In the infinite primordial space, most mysterious lands are hard to find, their fame varies, and the powers they contain are different. The most famous, of course, is the Land of Eternity. The Land of Eternity has already sent an invitation to Luofong, and he has a seat there. However, the cultivator territory has not yet been fully conquered, and Luofong's celebration for becoming a lord hasn't been held, so he's not in a hurry to go to the Land of Eternity. Blood Crane territory is a mysterious land with relatively small fame, and it has only birthed 3 ancestor-level beings. Luofong observed the Blood Crane territory before him. Before him was an infinite blood sea, with creatures vaguely lurking within, all spying on Luofong. Blood sea. Seeing this endless blood sea gave Luofong a sense of familiarity. During the primordial cosmos period, he had a ghost sea avatar at that time, proficient at transforming into a blood sea. Even after coming to the land of origin, transforming into a blood sea was a common technique for Luofong. Thus, seeing the blood sea made Luofong feel rather close to it. Since becoming a lord, I haven't needed to transform into a blood sea. Luofong thought to himself. In the weaker stages, he couldn't perfectly control his power, so he transformed into a blood sea, even forming a blood sea array. With perfect mastery, both physical body form and blood sea form are perfectly controlled, and they don't enhance his strength. The endless blood sea before me is much stronger than my body. Luofong sensed and felt this endless blood sea was alive, slowly flowing, with a very strong sense of threat. Luofong. A voice came from deep within the endless blood sea. Now that you have come to the Blood Crane territory, why don't you dare come in? Are you afraid? Afraid? Luofong chuckled. With his understanding of the primordial life and death Tao, Luofong instantly sensed all the creatures lurking within the vast Blood Crane territory in front of him, 3 ancestor-level beings, over 500 world-level primordials, and more than 30 billion high-level primordial life. At this moment, the 3 ancestor-level beings and over 500 world-level primordials could all see the outside and were all staring at Lord Luofong, who had come alone. You 3 weak ancestors of the Blood Crane territory can make me afraid. Luofong scoffed. If not afraid, then come in. Another angry voice sounded. We 3 weak ancestors will see how strong you, the cultivator lord, can be. A third hoarse voice chimed in. The other 2 lords of the Blood Crane territory, though rarely active outside, would naturally not tolerate being attacked in their lair. HMPH. Luofong smiled. Boom. His body flew directly into the endless blood sea. Upon entering, Luofong immediately detected the uniqueness of the Blood Crane territory blood sea. This blood sea is formed by the perfect fusion of 3 highest-level powers. Luofong instantly judged, coinciding with the 3 major clan factions of the Blood Crane territory. The numerous creatures born from the Blood Crane territory excel in life, immortal, and shadow, the strongest of which are the Blood Lord, Crane Lord, and Shadow Lord. The blood sea, formed by the perfect fusion of 3 highest-level powers, is indeed much stronger than my blood sea. It encompasses the life, immortal, and shadow characteristics, more resilient and ubiquitous. Luofong sensed the gap. The 3 highest-level powers embraced by the Blood Crane territory are extremely strong in terms of life-saving. The combination of the 3 completely surpasses Wulan. In Luofong's view, if someone masters these 3 highest-level powers, their life-saving ability might surpass Initial. Initial merely achieves the ultimate in defense, but it might still be trapped. However, the shadow characteristic in the Blood Crane territory is ubiquitous. Mastering 1 highest-level power is already ancestor-level. Never heard of someone mastering 3 highest-level powers. Luofong thought silently. Even among the cultivator lords, Only Starlight mastered 2 highest level Daos. Under the combination of Starlight's 2 Daos, his life-saving ability is also one of the top levels in the infinite primordial space. After all, he exists in both past and future. Even trapping him is impossible. These mysterious lands. The infinite primordial space nurtures source worlds which originate from the combination of multiple great Daos. The mysterious lands nurtured contain several highest level powers, giving them various miraculous properties. For example, the infinite world can reflect any place in the infinite primordial space. The abyss of destruction can birth powerful destruction weapons. Source worlds have origin. Mysterious lands also have a core source. With his high level of life insight, Luofong vaguely sensed the source of power within the endless blood sea. First deal with the Shadow Lord. As Luofong flew into the endless blood sea, he analyzed the many characteristics of the Blood Crane territory's endless blood sea, probing into the mysteries behind it. But at the same time, he headed fully towards the Shadow Lord. The Blood Crane territory environment, limited in its impact on his strength. The Shadow Lord, Blood Lord, and Crane Lord all noticed this. The endless blood sea imposes a very strong oppression on outsiders. But as Luofong passed through, the blood sea naturally parted, providing little obstruction. He excels in life-based techniques, able to influence the blood sea power to a certain extent, said the Blood Lord. I said it before, there's no need to provoke the cultivator camp. In the infinite primordial space, we must avoid the 3 strongest camps. But Shadow, you insisted. Crane Lord was somewhat displeased. Didn't you use the resources I plundered? Shadow Lord retorted. I support you in plundering other weaker forces, but I didn't support you in provoking the cultivator camp, Crane Lord countered. Enough. Lord Luofong is coming here to fight, let's join forces to meet the enemy, said the Blood Lord. I'll deal with this Luofong. I refuse to believe that, in the environment of Blood Crane territory, he can do anything to me. The Shadow Lord immediately took the initiative to attack. The Blood Lord and Crane Lord did not rush to take action. After all, any ancestor level, once deploying their true body, would have formidable power. With the life core inside, there is ample energy supply, allowing them to perform numerous techniques, with power surging several times. Without the life core, they would only have at best 30% of their power. The gap between having a life core and not having one is huge. Therefore, during war between the 2 camps, those ancestors either do not participate, or if they do, it's with their true body containing the life core. Without the life core, they would only hold back in battles of that level. Luofong flew through the vast blood sea, and the creatures born of Blood Crane territory kept far away, not daring to approach. Luofong also ignored those weak world-level primordial and high-level primordial. It's the Cultivator Lord. I've heard the Cultivator Lord is the most terrifying presence in the infinite primordial space. The innate primordial camp clashed with the 8 lords among cultivators and did not win. These world-level primordial beings were somewhat knowledgeable, having many avatars that had plundered in the cultivator territory. Naturally, they were aware of the latest intelligence. They dared not provoke this lord in the slightest. Facing this lord, even a mere look could lead to their annihilation. Boom! Luofong flew at super high speed. Approaching voluntarily. Luofong sensed a massive aura rapidly coming closer, much stronger than the Shadow Lord's avatar previously encountered in the cultivator territory. A massive phantom appeared ahead, its body seemingly condensed from countless shadows, a twisted giant with scarlet eyes watching Luofong. Luofong! The true body of the Shadow Lord let out a low roar, its aura vast, stirring up endless blood waves. After all, born of Blood Crane territory and mastering supreme power, Shadow, it can significantly mobilize blood sea power. If outside, even with the true body, I would be weaker than you. But in Blood Crane territory, my birthplace, you can't defeat me. The Shadow Lord's voice resounded through every space-time. Luofong looked at him, with just you. Why doesn't all 3 lords of Blood Crane territory come together? Arrogant. The Shadow Lord, enraged, its massive phantom body merged instantly with the surrounding blood sea. A mighty blood sea directly crashed and pressed over. HMPH. Luofong stood still, surrounded by the realm of life and death, resisting these blood waves, the aggressive blood waves rushing through the realm of life and death, yet touched Luofong's surrounding protective energy layer. This protective energy layer is supplied with 1,008,000,000 origins. How is it possible? The Shadow Lord, utilizing the home advantage, mobilized the vast blood sea power, directly assaulting. In the Blood Crane territory's environment, his power at least doubles. But at this moment, he could not break through Luofong's protective energy layer. When the two camps clashed previously, Luofong withstood attacks from dozens of ancestors, seemingly severely injured. However, in reality, the majority of the power was blocked by the protective energy layer. External observers, watching from the endless spacetime afar, only knew Luofong could endure. But they couldn't discern how much the protective energy layer contributed. Is this all? Luofong murmured, destruction. Luofong's body instantly erupted with endless power, using life sensing to lock onto the enemy, penetrate, and erode to annihilate the enemy. This eroding power, whether as threads, blade lights, or mist, endless, covering the sky and earth. Luofong's attack was to exploit the advantage of endless energy. The Shadow Lord had a strong survival ability, yet found Luofong's power difficult to expel, expelling one part drained 3 to 4 parts of him. This Luofong's power stayed at its peak, not declining at all. Among the innate primordial life camped siege, he could even help companions recover to their peaks. In terms of energy recovery, he's likely top-ranked within the entire infinite primordial space. In Blood Crane territory environment, I can't outlast him. The Shadow Lord realized, even with home Blood Crane territory energy supply, in the long battle it would lead to death for him. Kill. Shadows, omnipresent. Existing outside and within. Frightening power began the slaughter within Luofong's body. Helplessly, every part of Luofong's body was flawless, extremely formidable. The Shadow Lord's attacks initiated from within Luofong only caused minor injuries, which instantly disappeared. RIP, under Shadow Fusion, the surrounding spacetime seemed as parts of the Shadow Lord's body, spacetime tearing open directly. Also tearing at Luofong's body. Variety of attacks, both internal and external, omnipresent, attacking from every angle. However, Luofong remained flawless, with the core 1,008,000,000 origins as the most abundant, powerful, and stable part of his entire energy. Shadow's power, rather troublesome. Luofong extended a hand, revealing a knife in his grasp. Luofong stood in place, the sky-splitting saber in his hand transforming into dazzling blade lights. Each blade light contained 1/10,000th of his total energy reserve. In the blink of an eye, he slashed out hundreds of times, continuing to release blade lights tirelessly. His energy recovery rate completely kept up with the consumption. This is... Shadow Lord's heart trembled. He was everywhere. Yet at this moment, every corner around Luofong was met with the terrifying blade light, which contained the power of life and death, so strong it made one tremble. The dense hundreds of blade lights crisscrossing heaven and earth instantly annihilated the entire surrounding blood sea. With me as the center, everything around me, all space-time, all things, without exception, destroyed. At this moment, Luofong stood in place, with only energy streams like boiling water around him. Even space-time was in the process of being repaired. This Shadow Lord can really hide well. Luofong scanned with his gaze, locking onto a distant place. Shadow Lord, wherever there was shadow, that was his territory. Where matter existed, it corresponded to a shadow. Thus the Shadow Lord could instantly appear in extremely distant places. Even though Luofong had just destroyed a vast surrounding area, it only lightly injured the Shadow Lord. No way to resist. Just tried a bit, and got hurt. Shadow Lord confirmed one thing, faced with the domineeringly powerful Lord Luofong, he could only hide. Seek the enemy. Luofong swung his saber again, and this time his blade light was a dark blade light, extremely subtle and soft. The blade light was restrained, following the fluctuation of the life chi mechanism, penetrating spacetime and blood sea obstacles, managing to catch up with every bit of the Shadow Lord's life force. Ensuring each slash hit the enemy. Under certain hit, the power of each slash had to be greatly reduced, at most only 1/10,000th of Luofong's energy reserve. When unleashing energy brutally, the power may be great, yet when dealing with Shadow Lord, who specializes in evasion, we can't even touch him. Luofong understood this, and when locking onto the life chi mechanism to ensure a certain hit, the power of each slash dropped significantly. Like Lord Minghuang, they can ensure certain hit and extreme speed even while burning the main battle avatar under a powerful attack, which is impressive. The primordial blade path I'm currently comprehending continues the fusion of life and destruction, primarily focused on destruction. Luofong pondered, the direction I seek must first be certain hit, then pursue power. Certain hit and power are the core pursuits of my primordial blade path. Whether facing the innate primordial camp or confronting the Shadow Lord, Luofong sensed the importance of certain hit. No matter how strong the power, if it does not hit the enemy, its function greatly diminishes. His origin Great Destruction is an indiscriminate attack that targets all directions. After using it once, any enemy who crosses swords with Luofong would guard against this move. With an extremely strong physical body, endless energy, allowing companions to quickly restore to pinnacle and considerable move power. These means they are already at the level of a normal lord. But Luofong was not satisfied. He wanted to compensate for his weaknesses, aiming to create a second path at the primordial level. Luofong swung out 1,000 dark blade lights at this moment, each dark blade light tracing the life chi mechanism, penetrating space-time and slicing the enemy. Shadow Lord was frightened and quickly retreated. These blade lights relentlessly destroyed his physical power, even the Blood Sea could not recover in time. Swish, swish, swish. In the blink of an eye, he crossed over most of the Blood Crane territory range, arriving beside Blood Lord and Crane Lord. Ran pretty fast. Luofong also stopped, even with life locking, his current move range was limited. Can't fight at all. Shadow Lord felt a bit aggrieved, looking at Blood Lord and Crane Lord beside him. Luofong's body is too strong. Before he teamed up with Wulan, assisted by the cultivator formation, he could withstand attacks from 100 ancestors. Now, even acting alone, I can't hurt him at all. Engaging him is purely taking a beating. With your ability, he can hit you. Crane Lord asked doubtfully. As long as within a certain range, even if changing positions constantly, you still can't escape his dark blade light. Shadow Lord shook his head. It's life chi mechanism locking. Blood Lord stated, he also mastered the highest level of life-type powers and could do life chi mechanism locking, silently infiltrating the enemy. This Luofong is proficient in life-type powers, but he has mastered the Dao of that power, so he's stronger than me. Lords who master the essential Dao, with the same power, can exert stronger power. Lords can even create the most fitting physical body for themselves. Luofong has a strong body and fierce moves. Blood Lord said lightly, but the weakness is obvious, his movement technique is obviously weak. We just need to avoid him, and he can't touch us. Blood Lord, as someone who is skilled in life-type powers, also has weak movement technique, he understands Luofong's predicament well. However, Blood Crane territory is his hometown. Within the hometown's range, Blood Lord is far more flexible than Luofong. Always avoiding him? Shadow Lord asked. It's a bit frustrating. Crane Lord felt somewhat unwilling, as the Crane Lord who mastered undying power was fundamentally fearless in battle. Can you be stronger than the combined forces of dozens of ancestors? Blood Lord glanced at the two companions. Even if you two join forces, you won't be able to harm him at all. Crane! Don't think your physical body is strong enough. That great destruction burst from Lord Luofong. Even Giant God Emperor, Primordial Beast Ancestor, and Black Tide Ancestor didn't dare to resist directly. It even severely wounded 26 ancestors nearby. Are you sure you can withstand it? Crane Lord's heart trembled. In terms of protective skills, compared to Wulan, who mastered the primordial material Dao, Crane Lord was certainly inferior by a vast margin. If the three of us join forces and take advantage of our position, mobilizing massive blood sea power for assistance, I dare to fight him at close range. Crane Lord said, having witnessed Luofong's great destruction burst might, one-on-one still felt somewhat uncertain. Can you kill him? Can you cause him a little trouble? Blood Lord shook his head. If we can't pose a threat, then there's no need to engage in battle. We'll avoid him, he won't be able to reach us in Blood Crane territory, and naturally, he will give up and leave. He's already here in Blood Crane territory, do we still have to endure? Shadow Lord was unwilling. All right, follow the elder brother's advice. Crane Lord could only nod. Because with only Blood Lord's assistance, supported by endless vitality, combined with his own undying ability, he dared to fight Luofong closely. Blood Lord didn't want to engage in a pointless fight, so Crane Lord could only endure. Luofong could sense that in the blink of an eye, Shadow Lord's true body had fled over half the Blood Crane territory's range, and none of the three were approaching, the three of them keeping a distance, unwilling to confront me. It must be admitted, with the three of them avoiding him, there wasn't much he could do. Unless, calling for help. For instance, inviting Starlight Lord, the #1 in time and space expertise of the infinite primordial space, with him, the enemy can't escape. Each Dao has its strengths and weaknesses. Though cultivator lords are strong, each can match the combined effort of 2 or 3 ancestors. Purely for survival, a single lord can withstand attacks from 10 to 8 ancestors. But truly one-on-one, to fully kill an ancestor, so far, no cultivator lord has managed it. In history, it has been the cooperation between lords that has eliminated all vitality of an ancestor. Since they are avoiding me, Luofong looked distantly, sensing the core source of this vast, endless blood sea power ahead, feeling both familiarity and curiosity towards the endless blood sea. After all, the blood sea power is formed by 3 types of highest level power, one of which is the life type power. Even in the brief time in Blood Crane territory, Luofong deciphered 7 to 80% of this life type power. However, he wasn't too impressed, feeling the life type power was somewhat narrow. Time to check out the core source of this mysterious land. Luofong swiftly flew, penetrating the endless blood sea, heading straight to his sense location. He flew, getting closer and closer to the core source of Blood Crane territory. Boom! 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 Luofong gradually began to sense a kind of fluctuation, resembling the heartbeat of the entire endless blood sea, where the core source seemed like the heart of the endless blood sea. This heartbeat, Luofong just by sensing, felt pressured. In comparison to the endless blood sea of the Blood Crane territory, he himself was still much weaker. Interesting. Luofong became even more excited. He had heard that there are some dangers within the infinite primordial space, sufficient to annihilate a lord's main battle avatar. But as a lord, the Tao is part of oneself, undying and unperishable, fearless to investigate some mysteries. I want to see what's special about the core of a mysterious land. Luofong became increasingly expectant, having never witnessed the core of a mysterious land, as the mysterious land from the cultivator side, land of origin, was refined and controlled by Yuan. The succeeding lords were merely reinforcing various formations. Luofong flew swiftly all the way, crossing layers of blood waves. Where does he want to fly to? The 3 lords of Blood Crane territory, who had been avoiding battle, noticed something was amiss. He's quickly approaching the Blood Crane territory origin. Blood Lord, Crane Lord, and Shadow Lord's expressions all changed. For ancestors aiming for undying and unperishable status, there are typically 2 common methods. One is life core evolution. After reaching a certain level, the possessed ability can achieve undying and unperishable status, as in initial, mother of spacetime, inference fire ancestor. This is most common. The other is controlling a mysterious land, where life core can merge with the mysterious land origin. If the mysterious land is undestroyed, so is oneself. Infinite Snake Ancestor exemplifies this. Controlling a mysterious land also allows using parts of its power for one's benefit, as Infinite Snake Ancestor can render itself virtual, comparable in size to a cluster of worlds. It must be understood that Infinite World can reflect the entire infinite primordial space. Even if Infinite Snake Ancestor simply utilizes part of its abilities, the effect is boundless, battling head-on fears no enemies. Does he intend to refine Blood Crane territory origin? Blood Lord, Crane Lord, and Shadow Lord had long desired to refine and control the Blood Crane territory origin, truly achieving undying and unperishable status. But refining is too difficult, and the three have been unable to accomplish it. Just like the Infinite Great Snake Clan, achieving Ancestor level ranks over 10, yet only Infinite Snake Ancestor can refine the Infinite World origin. In the Giant God race, reaching Ancestor level, including Giant God Emperor, not one has managed to refine the Giant God Realm origin. The difficulty of refining Mysterious Land origin is evident. Can't let Luofong get close, stop him. The three Lords of Blood Crane territory at this moment shared a unanimous opinion. This video will end here.